Dzień dobry, YouTube, Evie Tommy, to another episode of Atticus Eats. Oh my goodness, my dear friends, I am so excited that today is a very special episode of Atticus Eats. We are able to try out a new-to-me restaurant. And it's interesting, as I did my research, this restaurant is apparently a chain restaurant. There's several of them here throughout the state of California, and it's called Brick and Flour Artisanal Mexican Cuisine. And many of you, over the course of several Atticus Eats videos, have requested that I try some Mexican food or Hispanic food of some sort. Real deal stuff, not just like Taco Bell or Del Taco. And so I'm so thrilled that we get to try this today. And I need to tell you all, I was so beyond thoroughly impressed with this restaurant. This restaurant gets very, very, very high ratings on Google reviews. And as soon as I walked in, the dude behind the counter made eye contact with me, was so totally, completely nice. And after I gave my order, I wasn't going to be getting a drink today, and he actually threw in a drink on the house, which I thought was really stand-up of him and really cool. I appreciated it very much. And so, this is really cool. They already are starting out very strong for me. Kindness always goes a long way. And I'm very grateful. And they're by no means hurting because my 2-item order cost over $20. So, you know, to get a drink on the house, that's really nice. So anyway, we threw in the salsas here. He said the green is mild. This is their red sauce, which is spicy. So we may try to partake in that just a little bit today. This place, I'm looking at it. I did get a dessert from this place, so we're going to be partaking in sustenance and sweetness, so that's really cool. But you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the burritos, and so I decided to get a burrito today, and this is an al pastor burrito. So al pastor is one of those things that when I get Hispanic food and it's the real deal stuff, I tend to really enjoy. You all know that I really, really, really like chicken. And actually, this place does have several chicken items, including like fried chicken tacos and burritos. They even had a secret menu that had a steak and shrimp burrito, which I thought was like, what is that? A complete surf and turf, you know? And that was really cool for me to hear. But I settled on this. I mean, I am in the mood for pork today, and I don't like cilantro. I'm one of those people that I think cilantro tastes like soap, and I don't like too many onions. So I told them no onions, no cilantro, but they do have the pico de gallo in it, so it has, of course, those ingredients in it. But al pastor, if done right, it can be really tender, really good, and kind of a pleasant experience. So I want to see how they did their al pastor today. Also, for the drink that was on the house, shout out to the dude working today because he was awesome. Very kind to everybody that showed up. I saw that they had something that I never see anywhere these days offered at like a fast food eatery, and that was Orange Crush. So we are partaking in Orange Crush today. I'm so thrilled, and clearly I've been enjoying it. It tastes amazing. My mom always tells me when she would get Orange Crush growing up, there would still be the pieces of rind from the orange that flavored it, the orange flavor, in the bottle. And so when you would drink it, those little bits of sediment would kind of be there at the bottom. I thought that was so insanely cool. I don't believe that they do that anymore. But man, I always love it when Mom shares those amazing stories with me. So it was very cool. I didn't get any footage on the inside because it was very loud. And actually, unlike many of the other eateries that I go to, there was a ton of people in there. And so I didn't want to be like sticking a camera in people's faces or their stomachs, which is more accurate for me with my height. But holy cow, that right there looks swollen. Woo! There's no way we're eating this whole thing right here. I am not going to make myself sick. I'll be good. But it's definitely going to be a treat to enjoy. So, definitely a very fun time. Very fun time. It's always a good day when you get to try new food with friends. Am I right? I know I say that often. Alright, hopefully this does not explode and ruin my autumnal flannel that I've been enjoying wearing, because it's finally cold here. Mmm. Mmm. Wow. Mmm. Okay, so you've got the meat, the al pastor, you've got the salsa, but you also have the rice and refried beans in this as well. So that's why this is such a hunky chunky burrito. Oh my word. Mmm. First bite, right out of the gate, really good. Very tender meat. The salsa in there, it's got a little kick, but it's not overpowering at all. Mmm. 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 Tender, tender, tender meat. Oh my goodness. Wow. Thoroughly impressed. Mmm. Amazing. Mmm. Wow. That's very good. It doesn't even need the sauce. And there's a sauce that's on the meat that they marinate the meat in. And it makes it so, so, so tender. Not grizzly at all. Completely tender, delicious, marinated pork. Oh. Oh my word. This is awesome. This is really, really good, cool people. I'm gonna get to about halfway, and then I'll call it for today. Definitely a placemat-worthy burrito. And their flour tortilla, totally soft. Perfect, chewy, glutinous, soft flour tortilla. It's not hard, they didn't over-nuke it or anything, they steamed it well. Okay, so I'm showing evidence. I had to flip. So what it is my tripod is a book. It's a copy of Tolstoy's War and Peace, because it's a nice thick book, and it gives me clearance over my steering wheel here so we can see each other as I'm feasting. If I have it a certain way, the flaps of the pages will flap when I have my AC on, or my fan going, I should say, and that's what gives that oscillating, effect that you guys see in the videos and the finished product. I can't see it here on the tiny viewfinder, but I see it in editing, and I'm like, I'm making people barf, I'm sorry. But no, for evidence to show I'm not a pig, I literally took about 3 more bites, and I've wrapped this up. This is a very, very solid burrito. If you're ravenously hungry, you know, you need something good to eat and enjoy, one of these days, whether it's on your travels or it's, you know, you want some good Hispanic food, Mexican food, this is definitely a place to go. I am thoroughly impressed with them. The meat, again, very tender, non-grizzly, really, really delicious meat. The rice is pretty good. A couple of the kernels of rice were a little bit undercooked, I do need to say, but the refried beans, delicious. The salsa, absolutely delicious. So I'm not a pig. I am saving this for later. But we do have one more item that we get to try today. And this was just like, it was mind-blowing to me, but then Mom had her realism when I was telling her about where I was going to go today for my Atticus Eats. And my dear friends, they actually sell a churro donut. What? That is incredible. Now, to be fair, Mom gave the more accurate response, which was, isn't that just a churro that's round? It is. So we're gonna eat our round churro and have a great time. They drizzle it with a caramel sauce, which is awesome. And it looks really good. They make them all fresh. Fresh, made to order. I'm gonna need a fresh napkin for this. I am also going to be good and not eat this entire thing by myself, so that way Mama Bear can taste some when I get home. But oh my goodness, you guys, holy cow. Ooh, ooh, caramel sauce everywhere. Mmm. I caught it. Oh. Oh. Hold on. I just had a dopamine surge. I think there's serotonin going too. Oh my word. Sticky. Wow. Oh my word. It's so warm, fluffy, delicious goodness. Oh my word. Mmm. 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 Mm-hmm. My car is getting attacked by water droplets. I don't know what's happening. We are, no, for real, we're getting a little drizzle. That's really cool, caught on camera. Mmm. Mmm. Mm-hmm. Mmm. Yeah. I have to bring that home to Mom. That needs to be had with a cup of coffee. Wow. So they have a very extensive menu, you guys. This may be a place that we need to come back to, because I might need to take a look at that secret menu stuff and see what the heck is going on. Yeah. It might be crazy, you know. Just to come back for the churro alone would be worth it. Because this is so hot and perfectly cooked. It's got that crunch on the exterior, but a perfect soft fluffiness on the interior. Wow. Just wow. Oh my goodness. I definitely have a doggy bag to bring home to Mama Bear. That's awesome. That's awesome. We'll definitely partake in some of that. Holy cow. I need a wipe. That one, this is a meal that the caramel sauce was real. And now you get to see that, yes, I am that guy who keeps his wet ones in his car. Me and Mom, we kept wet ones in our cars pre-COVID. We were doing it before it was mainstream. So, gotta cleanse out the old beard here. Or mustache. Awesome time. Awesome time. Wow. Alright, well, I'm thoroughly impressed. Breaking Flour, I'm gonna go ahead and say that burrito was very easily an 8 out of 10, especially for that specific niche of al pastor. That was exceptionally tender, juicy, very flavorful, did not detract from the taste of the meat at all, and all the other ingredients just packed it in the best way. I'm gonna say that's an 8 out of 10 burrito. Churro donut, 100% a 10 out of 10 would recommend. If you want the taste of churro, yes, it's legit raining. You guys, it is freaking raining right now in California. It never rains in Southern California. It pours, man, it pours. I was out of tune in the beginning, but it's okay. You guys get the point. Nizdarovia. What is your favorite Hispanic or Mexican food flair? What do you usually get when you go to those types of restaurants, friends? Tell me in the comment section below. The vibe of being in rain right now is so ultra deluxe cozy. I'm cherishing this. This is amazing. I did not see a forecast for rain today, so this is just an absolute, surprise. Like, this is awesome. Free car wash! Anyways, cool people, I'm going to answer 2 of your amazing questions here from the YouTube comment section. And again, for any of you who want to ask me any question whatsoever, please do down in the comment section below. If you see a question that's already been posed and you want to hear me answer that particular question, definitely please be sure to give that comment a thumbs up. And that way it can be seen by me. And so this question, the first one, comes from Marlin, or I'm assuming Marilyn, 811 on YouTube. And she asks, if you didn't act, what would you have dedicated yourself to? That's an awesome question. So, a lot of people don't know this, but like everybody who is going on a journey of life, you know, I had to discover who I am as a person, and I'm still discovering who I am as a person, right? I'm still needing to learn and grow, and there's areas in my life that I need to adjust and change and kind of restructure. And that's normal. That's normal for everybody, but especially for a young person who's learning who they are, right? And one of the things that's always been very profound to me, but I didn't know the right way of going about it, is faith in God. I am a Christ follower, as you all know, and I've been on a journey for many years of my life learning what that means. And so I can remember that there was a point in time where my mom and we went to a Catholic Mass that was a nighttime Mass. And I loved the connection to God so much, and I loved the honoring of Him that they were doing through the Mass, that there was a brief period of time where I said I wanted to be a priest. And of course, that was before I actually read the Bible for myself and I began developing my own relationship with Christ, because my mindset was, well, I want to be a man of God, but you can still be a man of God and you're not necessarily a priest, right? And that's something that I've learned now. So that was something that I had interest in for a while. Speaking of acting specifically, like getting really hyper dialed down onto, if I wasn't acting, what would I be doing? I have recently absolutely fallen in love with writing, but even more with directing. And if you guys go back and watch the Habit Burger Grill episode of Atticus Eats, I go into a lot of detail with that. And so I would definitely, I think that's going to be another one of those situations where I'll post that link to that video, either in the comment section or in the description box down below. And that way you guys can see me go into detail on that. That's definitely something I'm very hopeful for. I'm very hopeful to be able to get into directing work and be able to build a resume that way, as well as continue acting if the right roles come around. That would be amazing fun. But also recently, I don't know if anyone else does this, but I struggle with insomnia. I'm one of those people that I think a lot, and so I kind of need to rein in my brain and my thoughts and be able to kind of just relax and think, right? Or I should say, not think about 20 different things, maybe focus on one thing. And something that I've just sort of fantasized about recently as just something pleasant to think about as I go to sleep is how cool it would be to be like a ranger service or a forestry service fire watch guy. I don't know what you would call agent, ranger, something. But you know what I mean? Where you're just literally in the middle of woods, in the mountains. You get to be up in your little ranger station watchtower, and there's no distractions, there's no overstimulation from technology or busy roads or anything like that. It's just you get up there with your kit, and you're out in the woods. You're technically working, but it's also like the epitome of self-reflection and thoughtfulness. It would definitely be a time to catch up on a lot of reading. You know what I mean? I think that would be so cool. That's been my little Atticus helping himself to get to sleep fantasy that he thinks about as he goes to sleep. So now you know what I think about as I go to sleep at night. At least for now. At least for now. So, Marilyn, I hope that was an interesting answer to your question. But thank you so much for the question. I greatly appreciate you. Also, the other question for today is, it stems from, okay, let's see here. I just got dyslexic. Okay, here we go. This stems from Elise Loves Chicken on YouTube. And Elise was writing this very beautiful comment on one of my recent videos, speaking about my faith. And again, you know, I want to make it very clear. I am a person of faith, but I am a person who is still constantly learning. I am needing to grow. I am not perfect. I don't pretend to be. I do want to strive for excellence in my life and doing the right thing. But I'm a human and I do fail. And so I want to make that very clear as I say this. You know, if you're a person of faith, you'll know that we are all hypocrites to a point. But we're trying, and that's really what church is supposed to be. I had a pastor tell me that many years ago. He said, church is not a bunch of people, perfect people getting together and going, look at me at how perfect I am. It's 300 really messed up people trying to do the right thing and live a good life and honor God. And so that really resonated with me. And anyway, in this strong faith, very beautiful, very kind comment that Elise gave, she asked, what was it like to film the Christmas episode where Brick questions his faith in the Bible? This is really interesting. Elise kind of wrapped this whole concept up in a really intriguing way and question. However, this is a question that I know many of you have asked over the course of the years and on various social media platforms. So anything from my YouTube comment section to my Instagram messages to Facebook messages, you know, even on my Twitch live streams and different places like that. This question has come up consistently, and it's a very good question. It's a very valid question. Perhaps my answer, though, will surprise you. Every time someone asks me about that, there's a part of me that I sit back and I go, why is that a big deal? And I know the why, because they're concerned about, well, what was it conflicting for you as a person? The thing about it, though, was Brick, in my opinion, was coming about his own personal faith walk the correct way. Now, I can tell you with certainty that not knowing everything about the writers of the show, and I don't remember who exactly it was who wrote that Christmas episode, but I can tell you that a lot of the writers were not sharing of my faith, but they may have had some sort of faith, whether it be being Jewish or being Catholic, or maybe they're just agnostic or whatever. And so there's an element of morality to that, and they were using a lot of logic in writing Brick's character, but also Reverend Tim Tom's responses, per my memory, were pretty good. But the long and the short of it is, when that episode came about, I myself was growing in my faith walk. I gave my life to Christ in just before my 14th birthday, whatever year that was. And so I believe that was the episode or the Christmas episode for the season that was after I gave my life to Christ, I believe. But anyway, I was growing in my faith walk at that point too. Obviously, I still am, but I was very much in the beginning of it then. When that episode came out, I felt that Brick was actually going about coming to faith the appropriate way. I am of the belief, and I know this because we've witnessed it, especially when we read the commentaries of great people like Lee Strobel and many others, who actually set out to try to disprove the Bible and found that they couldn't, and therefore they gave their lives to Christ. And they began to have faith in the gospel. I would say that a person who has actually done a lot of skeptic-based research, but correctly, because there is wrong and misinformation out there, as long as a person is doing correct research, but being prudent and doing their skeptic research, that person will actually come to a more firm and a better and more intelligent faith in Christ than someone who just gets a feeling and then believes, and then trials come and they stop believing, which even Jesus speaks about. It's far better to either be hot or cold, not lukewarm. That's also something that Jesus speaks about in the Bible. So that was something that I think was very profound for Brick, and actually they did allude to Brick having some semblance of faith, because later on in a different episode, Brick was talking about, someone was making a joke about a gift for Christmas or something, and Brick said, well wait, didn't Jesus give the ultimate gift? It was something like that, I'm paraphrasing, and that was much later on. So they did acknowledge that Brick had some semblance of faith, which I thought was very cool. At the very least, a knowing of who Jesus was. And so, again, that's kind of how the cookie crumbled with that. And for me, it was honest. It was an honest portrayal of a character. And actually, I'm very glad that they gave that that inner struggle to Brick. The other thing, too, is that was actually an excellent episode that showed that Sue was wrong in her presentation of her faith, because her faith stemmed from just in infatuation with Reverend Tim Tom and what he had, not necessarily a personal relationship with God. And so that also showed Sue, hey, you can't make people believe what you believe, number one. Number two, there's a right and a wrong way of going about that. And even Reverend Tim Tom alludes to that with her. And so I really liked, actually, how they structured that episode, because there were lessons to be learned from multiple fronts. And I thought that that was very profound and very cool. Alrighty. Well, the Rain is absolutely awesome. Rain, the special guest star of today's episode of Atticus Eats. What a beautiful experience, my dear friends. Hey, cool people, I want to thank you so much for joining me once again for another episode of Atticus Eats. I know that this one was a little bit shorter today, and that's actually because my time management skills this week were very much lacking. And so I was like, I need to get out and do an episode. I want to hang out with my friends on Saturday morning. Saturday morning for me, Saturday afternoon for the rest of you. And so I'm so happy that I was able to get out. I'm so happy that I was able to try a new restaurant with you all. Definitely a righteous, awesome place. If you are near a Brick and Flour in any capacity, definitely go check it out. Go get yourself some grub from there. Listen to the staff, figure out what's on the secret menu. You'd be surprised. They have a big secret menu. Their secret menu is pretty much almost as big, if not bigger, than their regular menu. So that's really cool. But also, if you would, please, to help me out, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and please share this video on all of your social media. It goes a long way to helping me out and push the video through the algorithm that is YouTube. Also, please be sure to check out the links in the description box below. There's a link to my Twitch page, or my Twitch channel. I go live on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific. It's an awesome time. If you want some Christ-centered fellowship and nerdy fellowship, it's a great community to come and be a part of. Just please be kind and obey the chat rules. Keeps everything preserved and have a lot of integrity for our community. Also, please be sure to check out the link to my Cameo page down in the description box below. By booking a Cameo, you are directly supporting me and the work that I do here on my YouTube channel. And you guys, I mean, Thanksgiving is just around the corner. If you want to help me wish you, or have me wish you guys or your family or whoever a happy Turkey Day, it would be my pleasure to do so. Please consider booking me down below for a happy Thanksgiving episode or a Cameo. Also, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, you know, new job, pep talk, whatever it might be. I would be my pleasure to be able to give some words of encouragement and make your special celebratory days extra special. Anyways, cool people, thank you so much for being you. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Do widzenia.
I just want a great life, something where I feel like I just didn't waste time, something I look back and say that was a great time, 'cause man, I just hate when the years pass by the way